The noise of the freighter's engines masks O'Kane's own propellers. 800 yards from the first freighter, the convoy doesn't know he's there. O'Kane fires a spread of 4 torpedoes in under 90 seconds. Then he rotates Tang 180 degrees and fires 4 from the rear tubes. 8 torpedoes, 8 different targets. The first explosion rips through a 7,000-ton freighter. 3 seconds later, the second torpedo hits a tanker, then the third, then the fourth. 4 ships all hit simultaneously. The convoy erupts into chaos.
The cruiser's captain sees torpedo wakes crisscrossing his formation, but he can't identify the source. Where is the submarine? The wakes are coming from inside the convoy itself. O'Kane's rear tube torpedoes find their marks. 2 more freighters take hits. 1 capsizes in under 2 minutes. The escorts are firing in every direction, depth charges hitting empty water. Tang slips beneath the sinking ships, using their bulk as cover, and escapes to the south. 6 ships damaged, 4 confirmed sunk. 0 damage to Tang. Japanese Naval Command receives the casualty reports. They don't believe them. 1 submarine cannot sink 4 ships in a single attack. It's impossible. They suspect the convoy commander inflated the numbers or misidentified multiple submarines as one. But the survivors all report the same thing. The torpedoes came from inside the formation, from a submarine that shouldn't have been able to penetrate their defenses. If you find this kind of forgotten history as fascinating as we do, we'd be honored if you'd hit that subscribe button. We believe these stories of tactical genius and raw courage deserve to be told, and by subscribing, you help us ensure they aren't forgotten. Tang's 3rd and 4th patrols continue the pattern. O'Kane refines his techniques with every engagement. He begins attacking on the surface at night, using Tang's superior speed and maneuverability to dart between escorts. He develops a tactic he calls down-the-throat shots, firing torpedoes directly at destroyers charging Tang head-on. It's the most dangerous shot in submarine warfare, requiring split-second timing, but it works. Destroyers expect submarines to flee. They don't expect them to shoot back. By September 1944, Tang has sunk 24 ships, 24 confirmed kills. The number is so high that some U.S. Navy analysts suspect overcounting, but every sinking is verified by Japanese records captured after the war, every single one. O'Kane's crew worships him. They've survived situations that should have killed them a dozen times over. They trust his judgment completely. When O'Kane gives an order, no one questions it. They execute. October 1944. Tang departs Pearl Harbor on her 5th war patrol. The target area? The Formosa Strait between Taiwan and mainland China. It's the main artery for Japanese shipping moving between the home islands in Southeast Asia. It's also the most heavily patrolled waterway in the Pacific. O'Kane has 24 torpedoes. He intends to use every single one. October 10th. Tang intercepts a convoy, 5 cargo ships, 3 escorts. O'Kane attacks at night on the surface. 4 torpedoes, 4 hits. 3 ships sink immediately. The 4th is left burning. October 11th, another convoy, 7 ships. O'Kane attacks at dawn. 6 torpedoes, 5 hits. 2 tankers and 3 freighters go down. October 23rd, a heavily escorted convoy carrying troops and supplies. O'Kane shadows them for 18 hours, waiting for the perfect moment. Just after midnight, he attacks. 5 torpedoes, 4 hits. 2 troop transports sink with thousands of soldiers aboard. By October 24th, Tang has fired 22 torpedoes. She has 2 left. O'Kane has sunk 31 ships across 5 patrols. He's within striking distance of the all-time record. That night, Tang's radar picks up one final convoy, 2 large cargo ships with minimal escort. O'Kane makes the decision. They're going in. Tang surfaces. The night is pitch black, no moon. The cargo ships are silhouettes against the horizon. O'Kane positions Tang for the attack. Range 3,000 yards. Fire 23. The torpedo leaps from the tube. O'Kane watches through binoculars.
45 seconds. The torpedo strikes the first cargo ship amidships. A massive explosion. The ship lists hard to port. One torpedo left. O'Kane targets the second cargo ship. It's turning, trying to flee. Fire 24. The final torpedo launches. But something is wrong. The torpedo runs hot, straight, and normal for 10 seconds. Then it curves, hard left. O'Kane sees it through his binoculars. The torpedo is running in a circle. It's coming back toward Tang. O'Kane screams the order. All ahead emergency, right full rudder. Tang's engines roar to life. The submarine tries to turn, but she's too close. The torpedo is too fast. 20 seconds later, the Mark 18 torpedo, one of Tang's own weapons, slams into her stern. The explosion is catastrophic. Tang's after torpedo room floods instantly. 8 men die in the blast. The submarine begins to sink, stern first. O'Kane gives the order to abandon ship. 78 men make it to the conning tower. Tang is going down. The ocean is pulling her under. Crew members leap into the water. The submarine slides beneath the surface. 78 men were aboard Tang that night. Only 9 survive. O'Kane is one of them. He treads water for hours in the darkness, watching his submarine, the most successful in U.S. Navy history, disappear into the deep. Japanese patrol boats arrive at dawn. They fish the survivors out of the water. O'Kane and 8 crew members become prisoners of war. The loss of Tang devastates U.S. Pacific Submarine Command, but the impact of her 5 war patrols reverberates through the Japanese war effort for months. 33 ships, more than 100,000 tons of cargo, fuel, and war material sent to the bottom, 5 critical supply routes disrupted, dozens of convoy schedules thrown into chaos. Japanese naval intelligence finally pieces together what happened. They'd been tracking multiple submarine contacts throughout 1944, but when they cross-referenced the dates and locations, they realized the truth. Most of those attacks weren't from multiple submarines. They were from one, Tang. One submarine had done what the Japanese High Command believed was mathematically impossible, and the tactical innovations O'Kane pioneered, close-range attacks, aggressive surface engagements, firing at charging escorts, are now being adopted by other U.S. submarine commanders across the Pacific Fleet. By late 1944, American submarines are sinking Japanese merchant ships faster than Japanese shipyards can replace them. The oil convoys from the Dutch Indies are being decimated. Troop transports can't move reinforcements to embattled garrisons. The materials needed to build aircraft, tanks, and ammunition aren't reaching Japanese factories. The submarine campaign doesn't win the Pacific War alone, but it strangles Japan's ability to sustain the fight. By the time the atomic bombs fall in August 1945, Japan's merchant marine has been effectively destroyed. Over 1,300 Japanese ships sunk, the majority by American submarines, and no submarine in the U.S. Navy sank more ships than Tang. O'Kane and his 8 surviving crew members spend the final 10 months of the war in Japanese POW camps. The conditions are brutal: starvation, disease, torture. O'Kane watches 2 more of his men die in captivity. When American forces liberate the camps in August 1945, O'Kane weighs less than 90 pounds, but he's alive. And the first thing he asks before food, before medical attention, is whether Tang's final patrol tally was confirmed. It was 33 ships. The record stands. Richard Hetherington O'Kane returned to the United States in September 1945. He was 35 years old. He'd spent less than 20 months in active combat command, but in that time, he'd achieved what no other submarine commander in naval history had accomplished. The Navy awarded him the Medal of Honor. The citation reads in part, "For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life, above and beyond the call of duty. Commander O'Kane's daring tactics and brilliant leadership achieved results unprecedented in submarine warfare." He was also awarded 3 Navy Crosses, 3 Silver Stars, and the Legion of Merit. Tang received 2 Presidential Unit citations. She remains, to this day, the most decorated submarine in U.S. Navy history. Of the 78 men who served aboard Tang on her final patrol, only 9 came home. Their names are engraved at a memorial at the Submarine Force Museum in Groton, Connecticut. Every year, on October 24th, the anniversary of Tang's sinking, submarine veterans gather to honor them. O'Kane lived until 1994. He spent his post-war years advocating for submarine safety and mentoring younger officers. He never stopped analyzing that final torpedo shot. Investigators eventually determined the Mark 18 torpedo likely suffered from a steering malfunction, a known issue that plagued early electric torpedoes. O'Kane had fired a perfect shot. The weapon failed him. But here's what matters. Tang's 33 confirmed kills stood as the record for total ships sunk by a single U.S. submarine for the entire war. No other boat came close. The next closest submarine, USS Tautog, sank 26 ships. Tang sank 7 more. 7 ships, thousands of tons of war materials, countless Japanese reinforcements that never reached their destinations, all because one commander refused to accept the ceiling everyone else believed in. You do not sink 33 ships, except RichardOKane did. If this story moved you, please hit that like button. Every click tells the algorithm this piece of history is worth remembering.